Good afternoon, and welcome to another pause for poetry in celebration of National Poetry Month. April is National Poetry Month, and we've been taking a couple days each week to take a break from this chaotic, ever more chaotic and turbulent world that we live in, to pause, reflect, read some poetry, try to read some poetry that can put us in the right headspace to deal with and manage the chaos of this coronavirus crisis. Fortunately and thankfully, we have yet another poem that really speaks to this kind of chaotic moment. This one comes to us from our work experience coordinator, Jenny Scott. Thank you, Jenny, for sharing with us Rudyard Kipling's If. Rudyard Kipling was a British journalist, or English technically, but British journalist, short story writer, novelist, and poet who was born and spent much of his life in India. India as a subcontinent, British India as the colony, really influenced the way he thought about the world, really affected many of his writings, it inspired many of his writings, including his most famous book, The Jungle Book. The poem If is probably his second most famous, or definitely in the top five of his most famous works. It is very common and popular at graduations and baccalaureates. I actually read a version of it at my own high school baccalaureate. We won't say how many years ago that was. Um, so let me pull up the poem for you here. The poem was published in 1910. It was written in 1910, first published by Kipling in 1910, and it's an example of Stoicism, which is a philosophy of being in the moment, but using the moment really to share and grow, using the moment, focusing on a moment to grow from that moment as a person. So here we have the poem, Rudyard Kipling's If. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build 'em up with worn out tools, if you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss, if you can force your heart to nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on, if you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and, which is more, you'll be a man, my son. Kipling's poem, I think, speaks to this moment of chaos. We don't know how long this moment is going to be. We're being tossed and pulled in different directions. We're all like ships on a stormy sea here. Sometimes we enjoy and we're appreciative for time spent at home, time spent with family. We're appreciative for technology that allows us to connect with each other, but we also hate it. We want to move past this. We want to return to normal, or to whatever normal is going to be, but we want to get something out of it. This poem, I think, speaks to that moment. Um, this poem is also one that is, like I said, it's been used in graduations and commencements. It's kind of akin to Dr. Seuss's "Oh, the Places You'll Go," right? The poem talks about if these challenges and you take these trying things and bring them part of you, right? Take these circumstances, make them a part of you, but still not lose what you had, right? If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, you can talk with many people but still keep your morals, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch. Walk, spend time with the most powerful, prominent, influential, successful, wealthy people, but still not lose where you came from. Not lose yourself even as you build upon yourself. There's a slightly humorous version of the opening lines of this poem hanging in the cubicle of my office. The poem is quoted by BJ Honeycutt in MASH, Season 4, Episode 1, Welcome to Korea, if you're interested in looking it up. The character Radar is going nuts. He's losing his mind a little bit. He's frantic because their Jeep was stolen. And BJ, having just met him and Hawkeye, says, if you could keep your head when all about you are losing theirs, then you probably haven't checked with your answering service. That's a funny little reminder, I think, if you know what an answering service is, that sometimes when we think everything's calm, it's because we're not paying enough attention. We pay attention to these things and we will grow from them. So if you want, go check out episode 1 of the 4th season of MASH. The episode is called Welcome to Korea. It's a very good episode from a very good show. You can also check out right here, I hope, a video of Joni Mitchell singing a version of this song. Thank you for spending some time with us. Don't forget to read some poetry.